The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. Fox 30 WGBC invites you to the talk of all the towns in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning. It is Monday. It is Labor Day. We hope you're certainly enjoying your time off.
Yeah. If you have plans today, hope you have a dry day, but I don't know about it.
Backup plan. We're looking at the National Weather Service is telling us possibly between 2 and 4 being the worst of the weather we could get. Now, as I look at radar this morning, let's just take a glimpse here. It's moved off a little bit further to the east as we go over and take a look at Meridian Honda radar there. As we look at Lisbon, Pennington, these areas here, headed toward Demopolis, some showers. But Meridian, a little bit of a drizzle out at the Why Not Motorsports Park. A little rain there, not bad though.
Yeah.
Come a flood earlier though if you were up around 5 a.m. this morning.
I did not hear it. I guess I was trying to get rid of a headache about that time this morning. Gosh.
Oh, so she's got the headache, y'all.
I woke up at like almost 5 with a massive headache. And then by the time it went away, it was time to get up. So I just went ahead and got on up.
It's hard to shake a headache.
It is.
A little bit later, we'll have a special guest. As we said, Chris Reed is going to be dropping by in a moment to talk with us about a few things that are going on in the community. And we'll ask him some questions that are on the mind of everyone. Let's see, a few things that happened overnight. We did have an auto wreck. I don't know if you watched earlier this morning on that first report. Out near Northeast High School last night. Right along in there, we had a car flip, single vehicle accident that ended up in between 2 trees.
Oh, goodness.
Volunteer fire department, MPD, a whole bunch of folks come out there to check on everything.
I hope they were okay.
I think in the end it was. I think that Chevrolet was damaged pretty heavily there. It got towed away, as they say. We also had a mishap on Minnebucket Road. As we go out there, an auto accident there last night. Also, as we look at there on Minnebucket Road, no major injuries, just another fender bender. But
that is a dangerous road. Goodness, it
just
is. So many twists and turns. I mean, it's just it's really dangerous. I always held my breath when my kids would say, "I'm coming back from Dalewood."
Accidents can happen so quickly. They top a hill, and
yes.
So y'all watch it out in there. Now, we've had no major auto wrecks this weekend. We've had a bunch of fender benders this weekend. But that being the worst of what we've gotten so far. It's still young into the Labor Day weekend, and we certainly hope that there's no loss of life this weekend with wrecks.
Yes.
We just hate all that. I did get some reports of some gunshots in the neighborhood. Let's go out toward Hillview Drive is where out near Andrews Chapel. Nothing hurt, nothing damaged, but this area of Highway 39, this would be in the county, some reports of gunshots out in here. Again, no one hurt. That's going to be, here's the Dollar General, Highway 39. This is Briarwood, right up in this area right here. Again, no damage there, which is good news for that. But as we start looking around, we did have reports of other things that went on. Let's just jump to this. And gunshot victim. I don't know if everybody's aware of this, but someone got shot at Dalewood this weekend. It is ruled at this point, as the investigation goes on, to be an accidental shooting as we drive into this. And this would be, let's click on this picture, Candace. Get it a little bit bigger here. This is Louise Drive. If you were to cut through the bushes, here's Randy's One Stop right here at the end of the road. If you were to go directly behind it, it would be on the road behind it inside Dalewood. One person was taken to the hospital. We don't think it's life-threatening. The bullet went in, I think, may have exited. We don't know much more after they went to the hospital. We just know what was going on at the scene as the police department arrived.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of questions about what went on.
Yeah. Now, we will also we had another shooting in Meridian. Everybody up on all the shootings that happened over the weekend? If you haven't read the page yet, Scotty Ray Report, you can find us on Facebook and read all this, or Sam Media. Let's go out Highway 19. We had another shooting there this weekend. This time, we had a female shot in the leg. Now, I don't know what it was about. It also being ruled accidental at this point. A lot of that goes on. I mentioned that earlier also. A lot of accidental shootings seem to be to the leg area.
Yeah.
And someone made a point of that when I was talking about it, is to slow someone down to where they can't get away from them.
Right.
Either way, wherever you're hit, it ain't good.
No, I wouldn't want to be hitting the leg or any other face.
I don't know in that lower leg part if it's something.
Well, that's scary. You could hit somebody in a main artery and kill them.
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be that guy that got a flesh wound
Yeah,
like
me
they always
either.
do on Gunsmoke. It would be the serious thing that the doc
either.
couldn't fix.
Yeah, that'd be me too. It'd be my luck.
Yeah, a pretty common occurrence here lately is what we've been seeing on this.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only two that I know of that were actually hit this weekend. I had reports of a home getting a glass busted. We even had reports here. Let's go here and take a look at this, Candace. Reports on King Road of shots fired. As we pull on this would be just south. Up here is going to be North Hill Street. It'd be on the south end of King Road.
Okay.
As you're coming back into town there, near 38th Street. So,
Okay.
another thing that I got a report was the Meridian Fire Department responded to this. And who does this? On Martin Luther King Boulevard, and late last night, someone decided, well, why don't I just take a can of gas, pour it all over this house and in the front yard? It happened. Meridian Fire Department responded to that. No fire, but they hosed everything else off, and the homeowner left. Still waiting for reports as to who might have done that. I certainly wouldn't want to wake up for that happening.
Yeah, that would be is that like a threat?
I don't know.
Next time it'd be something else.
It's that or
Just your
someone who
yard.
had some issues that,
Right.
and we often see stuff like that. Boy, you didn't happen to be at Walmart on Saturday night, did you?
No, I didn't.
It was the talk of the church when I showed up Sunday morning at church, and it goes, whoo, had 2 or 3 people say, I had family in the parking lot of Walmart, and they nearly got hit. I said, why? They said, you remember that thing you posted about the car? Yeah, this is what happened Saturday night. As we look at this, we see a stolen car. It's a Camaro. Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department noticed it. Meridian Police Department helped out on this. And when they noticed it, it had a stolen tag. The driver of the car cranks up, fires off, and takes off and commenced to running. From what I was told, speeds of over 80 miles an hour around where MCC was. They were determined to get away.
Goodness.
And they would progress on down 8th Street. You know where O'Reilly Auto Parts is? They take a hard right turn, kind of do that skid row slide in.
So did the drift around?
Yeah, drift. That's the word I was looking for. And they would go behind O'Reilly Auto Parts and then jump out. And the last thing that police saw were some sneakers. They were getting it. Kind of clean, too.
Yeah.
They weren't dirty, so they were fairly new shoes.
Oh, okay.
They left the scene. The car has been recovered, and I think the car owner kind of glad to get it back after that high speed. I'd get my oil changed if it were me,
Yeah.
but that happened.
That's probably an awful feeling. I mean, I know like when somebody breaks into your house or something, it would be an awful feeling. But somebody being in your vehicle.
But if you
know,
wanted to
I
get
just-
stolen because you owe a lot, you could leave the keys in it. No one would ever touch it. You're like, I need payoff on this thing. It would never happen.
Yeah.
They handle it different in Neshoba County. Oops, did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
Just thinking again. But that does happen a lot. We don't know how the car was originally stolen, but it was stolen, I think, Friday night. So they had a 24-hour period of just riding, kind of like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, enjoying themselves.
It's kind of like, so they went to Walmart after they stole the car.
Yeah.
Like the other day, somebody stopped at Sonic and got something to eat, and they're stolen vehicle.
Y'all got to remember now, even thieves are hungry.
And I guess they need items too to shop for. So,
Yeah. I am just now, and I'm not running them down. I just want to be clear about this. I'm just now, and I don't know if it bothered anybody else. I'm just now getting to where I can go back to Sonic and have a burger. Those commercials that they ran, I just couldn't eat there. Those 2 creepy guys that sat in the parking lot of Sonic. I mean, they give me the heebie-jeebies.
Do they have that? I don't think they have those commercials.
That's why I'm kind of starting to
Yeah.
go, okay, maybe I can go back. I mean, the mere thought of them eating there and me going, I don't know, it was weird. It's just plain out weird. They were
I
creepy.
thought they were kind of funny. So I guess as a woman.
Whoa. Let me ask somebody else here. We got Chris.
Oh my goodness.
Do you think, are you on my team and think maybe those 2 old boys they had doing that were kind of on the creepy side?
Brother, I agree with you 100%. I'm on y'all's team. Y'all as in plural.
They were
Yep.
just different.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some commercials that kind of make you nervous.
But you remember back
Oh,
to
there's
the-
some awful commercials now, like personal hygiene commercials that it really will blow your mind. I can't believe they put
Do
that
y'all
on
know what I
TV.
do with this razor? No, and please don't tell me. But they're going to tell you nowadays.
Yeah, it's
But
awful.
y'all remember back in the 80s when we had, where's the beef? I
Yes.
loved her.
Look, I know.
And everybody wanted to squeeze the Charmin. It was nice, clean commercials.
Yeah.
Where
It
have
was.
people gone on their strategies?
I know it.
Hey,
Look,
look.
talking about things being broken into, my aunt's on here. She says, Candace, what about the time our hotel was broken into? I think I've talked about this before, but
That's why Candace probably wants to stay at a motel.
you know, I hate staying at motels because like thousands of other people have slept in that bed or used
That's
that bathtub.
how it works. That's just
I just
because you
can't
don't
do
own
it.
a home in that city.
I
You're
can't
past-
relax and enjoy myself because I take all my own linens for the bed, all my own everything. I mean, I might as well just stay home.
Chris, you've heard me joke about this before, but
Yeah.
talk about a germophobic.
When it comes to stuff like that, I mean, I am.
Look, I'm tired. I'll just pile on up in the bed.
Oh, I know there are people that do that. And then you
Yeah.
bring home all kind of stuff with
You know, we do it also, but we have the mindset, if just don't think about it. If you start thinking about how many thousands of people
Yeah, you ever seen
have
that?
laid right where you are laying,
Yeah, have you ever seen those shows where they put the black light on it? They
Yeah.
spray it down with something, they put a black light on it, and everything glows.
yeah, just don't put a black light on it.
But anyway, our hotel got broken into. Somebody sat on the bed in their wet swimsuit. I guess they must have come from the pool and decided, let's break in this room.
Yeah,
and they
you-
rummaged through all of our luggage, and they had like.
I hope you threw away that suitcase. Ooh,
Oh,
it
I
had
mean,
germs.
I was only like maybe a teenager. I don't even know that I was a teenager yet. But I was a nervous wreck.
Candace, I'm concerned about you. I really am.
Well-
You need a camper with you at all times if that bothers you.
That's
that
why we
bad.
have a camper, really. I mean, that's like one of the reasons we bought one, because I hate staying in hotels. But anyway.
Doesn't bother me one bit. I'm all up in there. Y'all get out the way. I'm tired. Let me get a shower. Just don't stay at the free hotels they give you at airports. That's all I can tell you. If they misbook your flight and they give you a free hotel, it's
Yeah.
just to be bad. It's going to be really bad. Just walk to the nearest one that looks better
Yeah.
with maybe the Holiday Inn on it or something.
It's kind of like this when you eat in a restaurant or you go through a drive-through, and if you're one of those individuals that like to complain about their food and things of that nature, if you don't think about what actually goes on in the kitchen that you never know about, if you don't actually think about whenever you said, no, I asked for a double cheeseburger,
Yeah.
not this, if you don't think about what they're actually doing to your food, then it shouldn't bother you. But if you stop and think about it, you're not going to order
Denise
it.
is agreeing with you. She says she can eat out so long as she doesn't think about who used the fork before her.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
funny. Like, I won't drink out of the glass without a straw. That's
Yeah,
just
well,
another-
I'm the same way because, whose lips have been on that glass. And
Yeah.
you know what they do when they take them in the back? They just turn the glasses upside down on a strainer. And basically that's...
You know, you should star in that next movie with Larry the Cable Guy. What was he? Where he was the health food inspector of the restaurants. What was that show? Y'all remember that? Y'all would be great at this. We got more on the way as we begin. Chris Reed, our special guest this morning, and we'll talk more about your phobias since we have folks here with phobias this morning. More on the way.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings. Fresh peaches, $1.99 a pound. Fresh corn 3-pack, $2.49. Vidalia onions, a 3-pound bag, $3.99. Refreshing Gatorade drinks, 8-pack, $6.99. Twin-pack Boston Butt, $1.99 a pound. And certified Angus beef boneless ribeye steaks, family pack, $12.99 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Rock House Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rock House will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rock House Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
And welcome back to the fastest hour on television. Scotty Ray and Candace as we bring in Labor Day. We certainly hope you enjoy yourself. Our special guest this morning, of course, Chris Reed sitting across it. We had a fire, and we think about those who've lost it as we go back to look at this. This was on County Road 352 in the Clarkdale community there. And as we look here, let me show you here, our friends down at Clark County Hot Topics have a picture of the home totally destroyed.
Wow.
So if you're from that area, lend a helping hand to a neighbor.
Yes.
A few clothes, anything would help someone. That happened over the weekend. Clarkdale, Stonewall, Rolling Creek, Quitman, Snell, all of these folks were dispatched to help put this out, and it was too far gone. There was no way to save it. And we've seen, like the house in Stonebriar last week.
Right.
Good news on it is the puppy dog was saved.
And they thought possibly lightning hit that, right?
That's what I'm hearing, because that was one of the biggest lightning storms that we had. Hey, we had a big deal happen in Meridian. We've seen this to where the space shuttle thing was supposed to go up twice. You saw that, didn't you, Chris? Some of the folks that were after it was scrubbed, they stopped. The astronauts stopped in Meridian, and I thought we'd share those pictures here. Here we go. Look at that.
All right.
They landed here
That's
in Meridian,
neat.
hung out at the airport there. Congratulations to the guys that got to meet them. Pretty big deal.
So, bring back that last picture.
Let me see here.
Does
That
it
one
look
right
like
there?
the pilot on the left has little blonde little pigtails? That's just, I think that's the decal on the aircraft.
Yes,
So,
the decal on the aircraft. You're just, you want me to pull back up and play that Sonic commercial for you or something?
you got me to thinking about it.
You see, there you go. But congratulations as they were headed back there. Hector and Leroy got to meet them there. We appreciate them stopping by and posing for the guys out at the airport. Pretty big deal there.
That is neat.
Now, Chris, I'm going to bring you in on this one.
Okay.
How often do criminals break into churches? Is that a common thing? In my mind, it's like the place you shouldn't go.
Right. Well, you have to look at it. Look, that's not the first church here in Meridian that's been broken into in the past several years. They just look at it as an easy target, and so especially this day and age. And you have to understand, criminals aren't thinking about, hey, we don't need to do the church. I can break in grandma so and so's house, but I don't want to do the church because it's not right. Right? They're not thinking like that. They're just looking at an easy target and looking at what they can get that doesn't belong to them and what can get them the most dollars in regards to selling it or whatever. So you have everything's digital now, electronic equipment. Everyone knows that. And so they know that no one is at that facility at night versus someone's home. Usually in someone's home, it's, someone's going to be there and during the day. So a lot of times you have a lot of property break-ins during the daytime in private homes. But a church, when it's not Sunday or Sunday night, then they're more apt to take a chance on breaking into that place.
And the kids, as I brought this up this morning, and I think I mentioned it Saturday, they had done a lot of fundraisers to take food out to the animal shelter there in Marion, the Rocky. Every bit of the dog and cat food was stolen. They got some TVs, but doing that to kids.
Yeah.
And is there like a big black market on dog food? I mean, where do you offload the dog food?
How much dog food did they take?
Well, the halls were lined in it. Each one of these kids had been doing this fundraiser. It was $1,000 maybe worth of dog food if you were to put a value on it.
There you go, $1,000 worth of dog food. So if anything that you can make $1, it's all about the almighty dollar. Obviously money and currency is a necessity.
Yeah.
The Bible says if you don't work, you don't eat. So, but it's people's priority is they want to take advantage of it. And if I could get something for free and then make money off of it, they're going to do it. And they've been doing it throughout time.
So did they go through the main part of the church too, like stealing stuff, or just
Yes,
the
they
daycare?
they got TVs. They took iPads for the kids to learn on.
It's awful.
We don't know why. They're just bad folks is all we can say. There's nothing we can.
Yeah, we do know why. It's that almighty dollar.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they going to do with 15 to 25 iPads if that's what it was? TVs and stuff. They're
You
going
see
to turn around and
selling
sell
dog
it.
food.
Yeah, selling dog food.
Yeah.
Anything that will make $1.
Boy. So that happened over the weekend. And we do see, and I want to remind everybody this, and Chris, you back me up on this. You see this as crime. It's not, a lot of folks will say it's just these areas of town that have crime. We're not seeing that anymore. This is all around Northwood Country Club. It is in the North Hills area. All parts of Meridian now have crime.
Right. Yeah. There's no, and I've said it before, and I think one of your posts the other day, and this is everywhere. This is in any city. When there's no actual officer presence, then you're going to see crime escalate. You're going to see it, the percentage of it rise. Not only property crimes, but crimes against persons. When there is absolutely no presence, then you're going to see that. And so now they're starting to spread out. A lot of people say, well, just don't go this specific area or this specific location. But it is spread out north, your Eagle Point, your Briarwoods, your North Meridians, your, South Meridians. In the county, there's a lot of property crimes. And so it's just all over whenever you remove that presence. Now, look, officer presence doesn't stop the crime, but it does deter it.
It does.
If people don't believe that, then take the locks off your doors and see how long it lasts. Why do you have locks on your door? It's a deterrent. Why do you have an alarm system sign in your front yard? It's a deterrent. Now, the only thing is the crime wasn't committed, so there's no statistics to say how much crime you prevented by having an alarm system in your front yard. But wouldn't you rather have it?
Yeah, I definitely would.
Well, I mean, when the thieves are like stealing vehicles and going to eat at Sonic in the stolen vehicle and going to Walmart and going in and shopping, or, I mean, that just is right there tells you a lot. They're not afraid of any kind of repercussions.
And there's no lie on this. You and I have talked about this. We have, when you left office, when you were police chief, how many police officers that could actually make arrests were on staff?
Well, we had 74 sworn officers. Now that included the detective division. We had 11 detectives during that time, and then so we had
So we're looking 60-something.
60-something in patrolmen. And we had 4 in the academy. We had 3 that were in process from being hired that were coming from other agencies. And then phone calls with veteran officers. That's the big thing. That's the big vacuum that's happened at Meridian Police Department is the amount of veterans that have left the past few years. Resignations and also certain temporary department heads caused that mass exodus. And I was there when that took place. And so now you don't have any veteran officers that can train these young new officers on how to police and how to investigate and things of that nature.
And it's things that can't, you're and you've been there. You're a police officer. There's just stuff that that's not in a book.
Right.
That you can pass along to someone else.
Right. Exactly. And look, just a simple thing. There's not a book out there for training on how to talk to someone. But having a veteran officer say, look, I've been there, done that, got the T-shirt. And I used to tell them a simple thing. Look, if you talk to the public like you would talk to your own grandparents, you will never have an issue. You will never have a complaint. No matter if they've done something wrong or anything like that, people make mistakes. But if you talk to them like you would talk to your own grandparents, you should never have a problem with the utmost respect and courtesy that's deserved. Because reality is, you're a law enforcement officer, but you're there for the public safety. That's what you're there. You're there to protect the citizens. That's why you are hired. That's why you are a police officer, is to protect the public from criminals, from those that choose that lifestyle. And you don't.
Tell me if I'm right on this, and this is talk, and it's not a secret. I'm not letting something out of the bag here that no one knows. We dropped from 60-something to below 20 at this point.
Correct.
Am I pretty close to the numbers now?
Correct. Yeah. The last word I had gotten, and this is from reliable sources or whatever. It's
right.
between 17 and 20 sworn patrolmen. I believe 7 to 9 detectives.
Now, how many shifts do we have?
We have 4 shifts. Oh, they have 4 shifts. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's muscle memory. It's habit.
So you divide that out. That's not a whole lot, is it?
No, that's not a whole lot. Look, you're talking about a population of 35,000 and 20 or 35,200, something like that. When you have that population, and plus Meridian being so congested, and plus you have 2 major interstates running through our corridor, 3 to 5 major truck stops in here, there's opportunities for some major crimes. I mean, obviously we know, and it's going all over the U.S., human trafficking issue. And then when you have 2 major interstates running through this corridor, you have to have the personnel. I mean, look, Jackson, it's sad, but reality is we've been compared to Jackson being the capital capital and the crime that they've had, that the state has actually stepped in and did that. But I don't know why no one would welcome, why they wouldn't welcome an assisting agency.
Right.
Because your job and your objective is to protect the citizens of Meridian and also Lauderdale County. Lauderdale County has just as much at stake as Meridian citizens do, and that's why I continue to involve them, because they are taxpayers here in Meridian. They are they bring revenue to the city. They shop in the city. Their children come to the city on events and things of that nature. You want them to feel safe, and so they're just as important as anybody. Even the surrounding counties that come in and invest in Meridian, they're important. And I'll tell you another, it's not a well-kept secret, it's just not mentioned a lot. What would Meridian be like if we didn't have our Naval Air Station and our military presence and Key Field? Just in regards of the economic standpoint, where would Meridian be? And so I involve them, and I consider them vital participants in Meridian and making Meridian and growing Meridian, because if we didn't have them, my goodness, there's no telling where we'd be.
Let me ask this, because there's all kinds of rumors that I hear every day. I get stuff texted to me. I've heard about 3 rumors of what Chris Reed is going to do. First one I've heard is that you've always wanted to be an over-the-road truck driver, and that you've been talking to Walmart, and that it's going to be like BJ and the Bear before long. Is there any truth to that rumor?
No, there's not. But in regards to being a truck driver, a buddy of mine that I work with, he kind of piqued my interest because he spends a lot of times at the truck stop or whatever. John Clayton out at the Naval Air Station, good guy. He's pretty much one of the guys, along with your Higginbothams and stuff, that keeps that Naval Air Station going with V2X, the company out there, which is awesome. But no, that's not true.
Okay.
I have no interest.
Rumor number 2 is there is also talk that you are a gospel singer, that you do a little bit of that you've been trying to be the next person to join the Gaither Trio and be a part of that and travel the road and do some singing. Is there any truth to that?
Absolutely not.
Okay, that's 2. I only got one left. Rumor that I've heard.
That's called a rumor. Absolutely not. I don't know. I don't know where you're getting. I don't know who you associate with.
This next one comes from a reliable source here. Rumor is that you kind of like gardening, and that Carolyn Smith has hired you to be her gardener, and you're just going to work outside where Carolyn can watch you each day whenever she wants to open the curtain. Any truth to that?
Well, if Steph, my wife, is listening, she's probably laughing right now, and then she's probably going to try to find Carolyn's number to say, trust me when I say this, you don't want him to garden.
With all seriousness, let's talk about Chris Reed's future. You've sat back for a year, and you have to go, okay, my town is coming apart. What does Chris Reed plan to do about this? What is in the plans? What do you think? Because you're not the type of guy that sits back and does nothing. I've known you long enough to realize that you're going to step up, you're going to do something. What are we going to see out of Chris?
Yeah, and that's true, but I also understand that I'm one person, and no one person, and I've mentioned this before, but no one person can change a nation. No president, no matter who the president is, they
He's
can't.
stalling.
It takes a collective group. So fast forward, when I was appointed chief, mind you, now I was appointed chief, which completely removed me from the civil service protection as an employee. That you have to have a reason to terminate someone when you fall under civil service. That the civil service is designed for the protection of the employee, which is good. So when I removed myself from that, whenever I was appointed chief, I was at the will and pleasure of the mayor, and people were saying, "Man, my goodness, why do you want to do that right in the middle of a mayoral election? Because if a new mayor comes in, they can get rid of you." And I said, "Yeah, but the current mayor can get rid of me too." And I said, I wanted an opportunity, and I said, I spent all my career in law enforcement saying, "Man, if I had a chance to change something, I would do it." And so I had that opportunity. Yeah, it lasted 10 or 11 months, but that was out of my control. If I had to do it all over again, I'd do the exact same thing again, because I was able to implement some things and get people on board and move the same direction. So after all of that, there's an opportunity in the future. Look, I'm not a politician by no means. lanes, but I do feel like I'm a leader and I can get people on board and go the same direction. So,
so you're wanting to go back to be a patrolman, is what you're telling me?
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So yeah. So I've had a lot of people ask me also. So here are the plans right now, and things can change. I think you need to have a plan and work on that plan, but sometimes those plans can, be altered for whatever reason. So don't worry about tomorrow, today, and I realize that and I understand that. But you also need to kind of pre-plan too. But so the guy that got me in law enforcement at the beginning in 1999 was Ricky Roberts. He was a constable then, and he was also a police officer, retired from Meridian Police Department. Now he is a judge, so I owe a lot to him. Several years ago, we had talked, and there were plans on him running for sheriff. So the plans are that he'll qualify along with others. Will qualify January 23, this coming January. Then they take office January 24. So my plans are, if Judge Ricky Roberts is elected sheriff, then I'm going to come on his administrative staff and have an opportunity to turn this county around. Look, I live in the county right now. I live in the county, and so I see the issues. There's always issues, but I see some things logistically that can be done different to try to curb that and deter some of those things. I mean, we're seeing people in the county, and not only in the area that I live in, but all over, where we call them day walkers. The people that are zombified because they go to house or whatever and get high on dope, and then they're just walking in your community, in your streets. Something has to be done. There has to be a presence there. So there's some things differently that I believe that we can do together, and along with his other administrative staff. So my plans are, when he takes office in January 24, to go on with Lauderdale County Sheriff Department and hopefully have a hand in being able to turn that department around in the county and stuff. And then after that, I do plan. Me and my wife talked about it, and I told people, and I tell people currently that there's no way that I would want to do it, and there's no way that I could do it without the 110% support from my wife, Stephanie. It's imperative that the family is supportive of that. That's the only way that it would ever work. But yeah, my plans are to move back in the city and run for mayor because it has to change. Something has to change. Now, mind you, and I've said it before, Scotty, is that Chris Reed alone, it doesn't matter who the mayor is, you can't change it. But it takes a collective group of people. It takes the legislative branch, which is the city council. But the city council has to understand that they control the money, but they're not really the decision makers. Now, yeah, they make decisions. If a mayor's wanting to move a certain direction, they can vote yes or no. But a lot of times they get caught up in making decisions based on their own personal political agenda and not what the public, and that's what's better for the citizens of Meridian and Lauderdale County and NAS Meridian. It's important that we all work together, and I believe that you have to have someone that has that ability to bring people together, because we're so divided politically and we're so divided as a race that there has to be a figure that can bring them together and say, hey, let's move our community, not the black community, not the white community, not the Hispanic community, but let's move our community in the same direction, and let's change this, because Meridian has unlimited potential in regards to the economic development aspect of it and also the public safety aspect of it.
All right, more coming up with Chris. We'll dig deeper into this, as he, I think, is the first person that says they want to run for mayor in Meridian. It's on the way next as we begin your Monday morning. Time to stop spending your entire weekend mowing grass. Step up to a Skag zero-turn lawnmower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers, because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install, or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes. And they even do work on motorcycles. With the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian. Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. Our special guest this morning is Chris Reed, who has just announced that he will run for mayor of the city of Meridian. Mm-hmm. Feels like that he can do a better job than what's currently going on. We wish you luck in that endeavor. And boy, it will be a lot to do should you get elected with that.
Yeah.
Any yard signs? Where can we get a yard sign? Do you have one already?
Oh, absolutely.
Is your wife doing them with magic markers?
Look, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to have to do that, but we'll do what we have to do to get the job accomplished. Yeah, you know, I'm excited about it. It's easy to sit behind your smartphone and the computer and say this needs to be done, that needs to be done. And you've heard people say it in the past. It says, "Well, hey, quit sitting back there. If you want something done about it, do it." And I've heard politicians in the past mention, "Hey, if you want my job, hey, the next election, run for it. If you want to see change or whatever." Well, hey, step up. Step up. And once again, people say, "Man, why do you want to take on that endeavor?" You're going to have to deal, and this is the number one issue that people have as far as running for an elected position, especially as a mayor for a city, is, man, do you really want to take on that headache of dealing with the city council? Mm-hmm. Well, I always hear, do you want to deal with it? And I guess because if you've seen the actions of some city council members just in the recent past of making decisions based on their own personal political agenda. Here's the deal. If you don't believe what I just said about getting caught up in making decisions, even a mayor making decisions based on their own personal political agenda, if you don't believe me, watch when the candidates come out in the next mayor's race. If there's not 3 council members that don't come out for or running for mayor, it will absolutely blow my mind.
So you think their agenda is to do that?
Well, my point is this, is whether you have your own personal political agenda as a city council member or an executive branch as a mayor, whether you do or not, you have to run this city based on what's best for the citizens of Meridian and Lauderdale County and the surrounding areas. You have to do that. Put your political agenda aside when you're making decisions that can have an effect. Listen to the business owners when you're talking about taking on a huge project, because look, those business owners, they're the ones that bring revenue into the city, the taxes into the city. You get what I'm saying?
I've heard a lot of talk from 22nd Avenue.
Exactly. Though they're vital to the existence of Meridian. So you have to listen to those people. You have to don't just ignore those people that don't have city rights for voting for positions and elected positions. The county residents are just as vital as city residents. And then you have some naysayers out there on social media. And once again, I said I'd never reply if that's your only platform. They're saying, well, look, if you don't like the city issues or whatever, just move out. Well, look what's happened. I think in the John Robert Smith area, I think Meridian was 42 to 43 to 44,000 population. Now we're at 35,000. Why do you think that is? So once again, I'm wanting to run for mayor because there's an opportunity that I could have a hand in turning this place around, because once again, Meridian has unlimited potential. And this is, what do you have at stake in Meridian? What do you mean? What do I have? I have an investment in my family, my girls. My wife's a coach at Clarkdale. She's a teacher at Clarkdale. Those students, those kids, they come into Meridian every single day. There's a huge investment. The children, there's a huge investment in children coming in. Don't you want your children to feel safe? Don't you want them to feel comfortable? All I hear now is, look, man, if you're going to go to Meridian, make sure you go and get back before dark.
So I'm thinking with this also, with what you're saying here, if you run for mayor, you would put an extra effort in
putting police force first.
Oh my goodness!
Of helping people of Lauderdale County and Meridian.
Yeah, look, that's vital, Scotty. That's vital. We're kind of stagnant in regards, not really stagnant, but we're kind of stagnant in regards to economic development because there's a public safety issue. Now the men and women, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but the men and women in blue at Meridian Police Department and Sheriff Department, I commend them. They're doing all that they can do. They'll call, they'll text, says we're wore out. So they're doing all they can do. I commend them. Look, I am a law enforcement through and through, but that is vitally important. If you get a control of your public safety issue, then you're going to have economic development. I've had business owners tell me that the first thing that they're, hey, I'm looking at moving my business here. Well, let me Google Meridian, Mississippi. Well, what are they going to find out? You Google it yourself. You can Google it right now. And as far as the crime rate. And so you would be apprehensive to doing that. I had a huge multi-million dollar industry that's here now. It says if we weren't already established here in Meridian, we would be gone.
Well, what were you going to ask again?
I was just going to say, like, as mayor, how vital do you think it is to when there's a press conference held or having a press conference with all the crime like it is? I mean, how vital is it to have a press conference and when you do have one, be, there to answer questions? I mean, not just, it's going to take time. How vital is that?
Yeah, it's a must. You have to be transparent. We've always heard that word transparency, and transparency means being accessible. Look, you took on the position of a mayor. You took on the position of a chief of police. You took on the position of a department head. It is your duty and your responsibility to be accessible by the public, that you're protecting, by the public that you're entertaining in parks and recreation. It's your duty. It's your responsibility. So my only understanding is if you remove yourself from that and not accessible, it means you absolutely have no plan. You have no understanding. You have no solution to the problems. Because look, there's going to be problems. If by some chance, by some miracle that I'm elected mayor, do you know that we're going to have problems in my tenure as mayor? But I have to be accessible. I have to be responsible, and I have to be accountable. I have to take responsibility for us dropping the ball this city. Whenever I appoint a chief of police, that it'll take a year for that department, I think, to fully recover, but it's still my responsibility. Well, you're not the chief of police. It's still my responsibility. It falls under me. But I have to be able to. Everybody wants to be a leader when everything's going good and smooth, and take the glory and the praise. All right, but when things aren't going so well, people don't want to be a leader. But that's where you see a true leader when they take responsibility. Hey, we dropped the ball. We made a mistake. It's my responsibility. We've got to turn this around. I'm going to do everything in my power to turn it around. That's a true leader.
With Chris Reed here in a moment as we ask questions as to what will happen here. Big news here as we find out he may be running for mayor.
On this field, as on the gridiron, each inch is fought for and marked by sweat. Each inch taken through disciplined training. With a Kubota L2501 tackling each inch in the trenches, whether those inches are measured here or here, all adding up to yards. For each yard, Kubota measures victory, and the touchdown is Parrish Tractor. Here, we're much more than a tractor store.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, day beds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
Well, the folks at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, they got a little bit of everything for you, from chickens to, getting you ready for this big one that's coming here very soon. That's right. Deer season. Mm-hmm. We're all looking forward to it as we got cameras and a little bit of just anything that you might need, from mineral blocks to corn, getting everything set up. Maybe you need a feeder this year. Maybe you need a pop-up blind. They got that also. You name it when it comes to it, Tinks, and a whole lot more, including patio furniture to dress things up around the house. Maybe you need a flower to put at City Hall. They got that also. They can help you out along as we get ready for fall, and it is so close, Candace.
Yes, their gift shop is fully open and stocked with all kind of things you need to decorate for fall.
A ball cap and blue jeans. Maybe you need a pair of overalls. They got that, including work boots and shoes. Things that make it comfortable when you work for a living. That's what they've got, including your pet. Things that mean, well, the most to you. They've got that, including some food, along with your horse and cattle. See them today. Guns, ammo, lots of things. You'll find them there at I-20, exit 151. Drop in and visit with them. We are Scotty Ray and Candace on this Monday morning. Almost at Thursday. It's Labor Day. So many people are relaxing, sitting back. Our special guest this morning is Chris Reed, who is got a job cut out for him as we look to the next election in Meridian.
Yeah, so why not? I mean, it's easy to do easy stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have a pretty sidewalk leading to downtown.
Oh, it's going to be
Less parking now, but you can walk.
It's going to be, as they say in Russia, it's going to be krasivaya.
Yeah, I
it's
don't
going to
know what
be
that
beautiful.
means. Oh, yes. I'm glad you explained that to me.
It's going to be beautiful. Look, and here, once again, I'm all for those things. I'm all for the renovation because, once again, you have two major interstates running through our corridor, and so the main passageway that gets to downtown is what, 22nd Avenue. I'm all for that. I think there were some things maybe logistically that the city could have done different, but that was way above my pay grade during that time. I was just trying to get a handle on crime.
And of course, the new courthouse is coming, and that whole look of the old mall,
exactly,
is gone.
Yeah, and people have talked about that. It's kind of like your own home. You want your home to look nice, the landscape, the outside, not only the outside but the inside. And it's the same with the city or county. You want to be proud of the place that you live in, and you want it to be nice or whatever. I just think, and I've mentioned before, and this is just strictly my opinion, Scotty, is that we've spent a lot of time in downtown because it's vitally important to renovate our downtown and our historical buildings and things of that nature. But and the reason I believe some folks are starting to do that is because they look at downtown as being the only safe place and become a safe haven, and that's the last standing safe place in Meridian, which is not true. But a lot of the crime, the property crime and violent crimes that's going on, and our department being forced to be reactive, only reacting to crime that's already been committed, then you can understand why people think that way. I just believe that you can spread it out and can get a handle and control on this public safety issue. The two main things is economic development, Scotty Ray, and public safety. You get a hold of public safety, economic development will follow that, and so I believe you'll see some growth when you have a handle on public safety.
East Mississippi Business Development. We watch as Tupelo gets business. We watch as the western part of the state. When is the Meridian area going to see some residual from this of getting more business to come in? That I get asked that a lot. What's going on there?
Yeah. And once again, my direction would be the first and foremost thing is the public safety issue. You have to get a handle on that. And the reason I say that is because, once again, you hear it from people. I hear it from people. I hear it from the business district, business owners, homeowners, property owners, that they're concerned about the crime and the issues that's going on. And now that you see, and we talked about it earlier, is it's spreading out. It's not only in those locations that you say there's issues, but it's spreading out everywhere. And all during the day, at night, we used to say, hey, don't go to a so and so store at night. But now it's in the daytime. You're seeing crime because why? If the law-abiding citizen understands the crime issue and what's going on, and that we're only reacting to crime that's already committed, don't you think the criminals know that too? Hey, they're not. Look, we're going to go and hit that store. We don't ever see a cop there. Okay, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
And so, and we used to display patrol cars all throughout different locations or whatever at the request of citizens.
I just thought it was because they wouldn't crank.
Well, those vehicles that we weren't utilizing on a day-to-day basis, we'd do that as what? As a deterrent.
Right.
People would say, oh, yeah, there's no cop in that car or whatever. But once again, 2 major interstates running through our corridor, somebody wants to hit a place and commit robbery. They're not from here. They pull off, so let's go to that store and hit that store real quick and then hit the interstate and roll out. And they go, oh, man, there's a black and white car there. There's a patrol car there. He may be in the store. Let's find another location. You see what I'm saying?
I do. Let me ask this. This is early. I know this is probably, I don't want to get ahead of the what is it, the horse or the cart? How do you say that?
Yeah.
Y'all know what I'm talking
The
about.
cart before the horse.
Yeah. If somebody wants to help the Chris Reed campaign, how do they go about? What do they do?
Look.
Have you thought that? Have you got a campaign headquarters other than a Mickey D's sitting down and discussing at the table?
Look, I absolutely, and I've told several people, and there's a lot of there are a lot of people, a lot of citizens, a lot of influential people, and says, man, they've offered their service. And I said, look, I have absolutely no clue how to campaign. I am not a politician. I just can spell politician, but I am a leader. But I've had a lot of people that offered their services. They said, well, we'll do it for free. Look, you can have my store as your campaign off, all of those things. You know, we're still 2 or 3 years ahead of getting this kick-started. I've got a couple of meetings coming up this month with some representatives. And so I'm excited. I don't think you can start too early. Look,
No.
Here's the deal. This is what you've seen in the past. And I'm only saying because I've been here 30-something years. But I imagine it goes everywhere. You don't see anyone, people saying, oh, you're mentioning it too soon or whatever, is the only time you usually see a politician is about 6 months out of an election. And man, you see them in the community. My goodness, you see them on the streets picking up the trash and putting it on social media. And I'm here for you. When you didn't get elected, it's not a problem anymore. Why didn't I see you on the street the next week after you didn't get elected? It's not important to you anymore because your campaign message 6 months prior to an election is we need to clean our streets up. Oh, it's not your street anymore after you didn't get elected. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
I don't think you can start too soon.
Let me ask a question. We might need to go to a commercial.
Yeah, hang on to that just a second. We got another question coming up for Chris. Yeah. Stay close.
When you gear up and journey out, nothing but you and the wilderness for miles. Just remember, you're the boss. Steel MS-271 Farm Boss, built for the toughest jobs.
Still available in Meridian at Wilson Saw and Outdoor Power, 71 Highway 19 North behind Waters International. Join Mike Rice Auctions and Wholesales every Tuesday night for a live auction, and you can bid from the comfort of your own home. Each week, Mike has a whole selection of auction items. Maybe you're a business that needs a liquidation sale, or maybe you're in charge of an estate and don't know what to do with all you got. Talk to Mike Rice Auctions about an estate sale. Let Mike turn these items into cash for you. Your next deal is waiting for you at Mike Rice Auctions and Wholesale this Tuesday night, live on Facebook at 6:30. Let's talk about Godwin. What do? Well, they're practicing up right now. They're cleaning up things and getting it ready to go out and clean things to make, the area look better. They do it every single day. Whether it's cleaning concrete or brick, your home can get all that old gunk on it, just like this house here has. Now, this is the vinyl siding, but brick can have it, stone can have it, whichever it is, they clean it. Fleet washing, the latest equipment. They even have drones that can fly up to those hard-to-reach places that you couldn't get to any other way. Yeah, let them handle it. Neat as all get out. They'll handle this from roofs, and that's just one angle of a roof. And here's another that really shows it. Now, this is metal. Now, we've seen the shingle, the slate. They do all of those, and it really just makes the house and paint of your home look new again.
It does.
A driveway? Yeah, have dirt. They'll come to you, take care of it. 253-8262. They can set you up on a schedule to where they come by once, twice, 3, 4 times a year and take care of it, and you never think of it again. Godwin Cleaning Services, that number 253-8262. See how affordable it is to make your place look great. Talk to them today. They'll help you out. That's Godwin Cleaning Services.
Yes.
Chris, how are you over there?
I'm good. I'm
a little
good.
nervous?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. not at all.
Candace, you got a question for
Yeah,
us.
I'm gonna state the question and another thing, and you can answer it all at one time since we're
Okay.
limited on time. But I was wondering how much authority does the mayor have over, and the city council have over the law enforcement? Also, as mayor, if you did get mayor when you run for mayor, what would you do as far as bringing in an outside source to help with our law enforcement?
Yeah, so city council, their responsibility is they control the money, the day to day. The mayor, he has authority over the department heads. The department heads serve at the will and the pleasure. We have 7 department heads, and public safety obviously is a key issue. Economic development, and so yeah, the mayor can appoint day one. Once if I'm elected and it goes that direction, that day one. Look, I'll tell our state partners and federal partners, which whenever I was the chief of police, we had City of Meridian had MOU agreements with the DEA, the FBI. I was TFO through the FBI. And U.S. Marshal Service. U.S. Marshal Service served all our violent warrants. We had 11 detectives, but I didn't like plainclothes detectives knocking on the door on a murder suspect and seeing if he's going to give up easily. So I had our U.S. Marshal Service through MOU agreements come and serve all of our violent warrants, and they would just bring the suspect in, sit them down in the detective office, and they would process them or whatever. And so it supplemented our manpower as well. So day one, that's what I'd say. I'd say, hey, state partners and federal partners, our city is your city, because the goal is to not say Chris Reed is a man. The goal is to make sure that our public and make sure our citizens feel safe and feel comfortable to come into our beautiful city and shop on the west side, the north side, the east side, and the south side. Not just downtown. We have to spread it out. And so my priority are the citizens of Meridian and Lauderdale County and the surrounding area. That's my priority. My priority is not for you to know my name. So if I can bring those partners in and the job gets accomplished, that's what it's all about, Scotty.
Well, let me ask this. The video that you sent in, were those cows aware that they were on television?
They didn't, and they actually have a problem with it right now. They're kind of upset because they're not getting any royalties. And I had the cows in the background because I wanted people to pay attention to the cows, which is accomplished. You paid attention to the cows and didn't see my big water head. So
did you see the video?
I did.
Going, hey, join me in the morning. All I could see was the cows.
I was like, does Chris have a farm?
Yes, I do. I've got goats. I've got chickens. I've got a miniature. I've got a miniature pot-belly pig that weighs 750 pounds.
Wow.
Gosh.
I think someone lied to us when we bought it. So yeah, it's a miniature pot-belly pig. Woo!
Miniature is like close to the ground, short legs.
Are you saying if you were to become mayor that you'd bring your pet pig to work every day and walk City Hall with your pig?
Well, we'll talk about it.
Chris, we want to say thank you for coming in this morning and being a part of this. We hope you have a great Labor Day.
Yeah, look, I appreciate it. And look, I don't look at myself as a special guest. I look at myself, I like to be known as a regular guest because
you are.
You've opened your doors to me, and I greatly appreciate it. And I'm just excited, man, excited to see the direction that the city will hopefully go in the near future.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
And again, we want to say thank you to each and every one of you coming in, and you coming in on your day off.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, though. But hope everybody has a wonderful and safe Labor Day, and we will see you back in the morning at 8 a.m.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: